Okay, so let's start maybe. So let me share my screen. Am I audible, guys? Give me a thumbs up if I'm audible. Cool. Okay, let me start my video. Okay. Okay, so today we'll be discussing about. Okay, so before we move on, I will just try to introduce myself. So myself, Debjyoti, and I have been working as a data scientist for the last 9+ years now. Okay, and yeah, I've been part of multiple MNCs now. Okay, so yeah, more or less that's my brief background, but I'll not waste much time on and like further delay on the topic. So let's move to the topic now. So today we'll be discussing what generative AI and how what is it, okay, and how relevant it is nowadays. Okay, along with the specific topic today we'll be discussing is how it is effective in planning our taxations based on any rules given. Okay, not only Indian taxation, it can be US taxation or any other country taxations also. Okay, and also we'll try to implement a code. Okay, so which will give an overview of how well we can use Gen AI. Okay, generative AI to have a personalized experience of planning our taxes. Okay, so end of the session, we'll have a code walkthrough and a demo, live demo. Okay, of the we'll build a tax bot. Okay, tax chat bot, and we can give our info to it, and at the end, it will try to give me some recommendations or what will be my tax liability and all. Okay, so yes. Okay, so quickly moving into the first topic. So what do we understand by generative AI? Okay, right now you might be hearing it in many places, right? News, topic, blogs, in your day-to-day work. Okay, so you might be always coming across this term generative AI. Okay, can anyone just unmute themselves and maybe let me know what do they understand when they hear the word generative AI? Anyone? I'll take pause for a while. Guys, feel free to like ask questions because let's make this an interactive one. Else it will be too boring and all technical stuffs and all. Okay. Is there someone who can speak?
To construct things using artificial intelligence,
Pardon?
to construct things using AI, artificial intelligence.
Okay, great. Yes, correct. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Sir, it uses predictive data to analyze using generative models.
Okay, what are the models?
So I'm not quite sure about it, but I have heard of.
Cool. Yeah, but AI models, right? You mean to say, or large language models. Okay, good.
OpenAI models like LLMs, something.
Yes, correct. Okay, so more or less, every one of you know here and there bits and pieces, right? So let me clarify it and put it in a very layman term, maybe. Okay, so we if everyone you know, right, what is AI? Okay, so AI is nothing but we are uh, giving some intelligence to a machine, and the machine is like well intelligent enough to act upon a task. Okay, on which it is trained on, right? Now, what is generative AI? When we use AI, okay, AI models or AI machines to generate some kind of objects or text or images, say audio, okay. So those generation we call that to use AI to generate those things we call that generative AI, okay. So basically, if you see the definition also, right? So it's like a type of AI designed to produce original content such as text, images, music, meaning audio, in response to a input prompt. Okay. So how it works internally is, so generally the flagship models, you might be hearing about Chat GPT and all, right? So those are the flagship models by OpenAI and then also Microsoft, right? So they are the flagship models. Using that, we are trying to give some information or task to it, okay? And based on its training and intelligence, it is giving us a response, okay? For example, I will ask, tell me a joke, okay? I will give a task to the OpenAI model or whatever large language models we have, right? I will just ask a question like, tell me a joke, okay? So what the model will respond that it will understand the context that a user is asking about a joke, okay, to the machine, and the machine will respond like, okay, this is the joke I can generate from, it will generate a joke, right? So internally how it is working is, it will try to generate a text using the neural networks, or we call that a GAN actually, okay, adversarial networks and all. It's coming up with a sequence of sentence, okay? So it is predicting word by word what is the best next best word and all, and it's trying to form a sentence, and that sentence it is returned to the user as a response, okay? So that is how internally all these LLMs, when I say LLMs, large language models, are generally they work, okay? Now if you see this depictions also, right? So there is a input going on, then the input, like it is the AI machine is getting trained on lots of data, okay? So Chat GPT and all, like, so they are GPT-3, GPT-4, okay? So those are the model names, and that models are trained on humongous data, okay? Billions or petabytes of data, okay? Very huge amount of data, okay? And as a result, they are now well trained on those data, and if we ask questions on any of those related context, it will try to find us a response, okay? Or we say here, make predictions or perform tasks, okay, like generation, distribution, processing, any type of task, okay? Now generative AI models are like, they're very what we say, diverse models and all, but we'll be like talking through about the flagship models such as the Chat GPT, Delhi, okay? So Chat GPT is nothing but when we use this model to generate text, okay? Okay, literature, text and all, so we use Chat GPT and all. Delhi is same thing, we use to generate images, okay? Based on certain users instruction, the model will try to generate a image, okay? So other things like, there is Azure OpenAI Whisper, so that is also used to play with audio languages and all, okay? So similarly, those are the flagship models. Before that, even we have models, but that were not that refined, and as we move forward, we are getting more accurate, fine-tuned model, okay, to give us a response back or generate a text or audio or video or images whatsoever, okay? Any questions so far, guys? I can take it up maybe. Anyone? Any questions? Anyone? No questions? Okay, so now moving into why it is important and how it can be used in text computation or calculations. Okay, so if you see, in all the countries, right, even in India, so it is a very what we say, complex task to calculate tax. Okay, and because there are many sections, many acts. Okay, if this is the condition, this is your liability. If this is your condition, the other thing is the liability. Okay, so there are too many ifs buts in the tax calculation for any countries, okay, not only India, okay? But if you see, we can use Gen AI to understand, okay, this is the guidelines, government guidelines for any income, okay, and based on that guidelines, we'll calculate the tax, okay? So what we can do is, we can teach the Gen AI or LLM models, okay, giving instruction. Okay, take the instruction as the guidelines from government of India maybe. Okay, this is how the tax slabs are. Okay, if you are married, if you have children, if you have loans, then this is your tax liability, this is your exceptions, this is your limit. Okay, so we have different limit and exception in different acts. Okay, and it's very time consuming, and also it's very confusing to remember all those acts and to calculate in a better way. Okay, of course we can spend money on CAs, okay, and there are many other websites which helps us file the tax and calculate the tax. But let's see how we can use Gen AI today to find the tax implications and all, and compute our tax, personalized tax, and also recommend some what we say, recommend some steps to minimize the tax. Okay, so what are the benefits if you see? So the first one will be improved accuracy because it is calculated by machine, so most likely it will be accurate. Okay, and the second one would be efficiency and speed. Okay, so efficiency and speed, meaning how we can say, like suppose say if we calculate, if we do the steps ourselves, right? So we need to do it all the years, or like for every year we need to calculate. Okay, which will result in our time usage. Okay, so what we can do, we can automate this thing, and that we can provide our information to Gen AI, okay, application, and it will give us in return, okay, this is your tax liability, these are the suggested investments you could do to in order to minimize your taxations. So it helps us improve our efficiency and speed. Okay, again it is cost saving, so you can do the same thing going to a paying a website or paying a CA and all. But yeah, you can do it in a, if you don't want to get in that complications, you can do it in your with using Gen AI and all. Okay, so enhanced compliance, provided the guidelines or given by government of any country, we can also build a very compliant tax planning solutions and all. Okay, and also yeah, obviously it will give us a personalized taxpayer experience. Okay, so we don't need to. It will be like our own virtual CA. You can tell us, right? You can tell in a way that it is our own virtual CA. Okay, we don't need to visit any other person to help us compute our tax and file our taxes. Okay. Okay, so if you go through the text, and also it's in text saving, streamlines text planning by analyzing data, automating filings, reducing errors, and offering personalized strategies to optimize savings and ensure compliance. Okay, and also it will try to understand what are the different acts. Okay, like deductions, ATC, ATD, ATD, DD, ATCCD, ATE. So there are very large number of acts and laws. Okay, so it's very difficult for a human being to remember such kind of, or such variety of laws and what we say, acts and all, right? So it's easier for us to tell all those steps to a Gen AI or LLM model, and then we can use that model to calculate or compute text based on those guidelines. Okay, so we'll be doing that today, and we'll have a small applications also built on top of this use case. We'll see that. So I'll stop for a while. Maybe if you guys have any questions, I can maybe answer. Anyone? Guys, please ask anything. Feel free to ask any sort of questions. Please don't hold back. Anyone? Any questions? Following? Not following? Should I repeat? I think someone is asking anything. Please. It's not clear. Anyone? So are you guys following, or you want me to?
Hello, hello, sir. Sir, can
Hello?
AI replace the CA jobs?
Pardon?
Sir, can AI replace the CA jobs?
Uh, so I will say the correct, I will say the answer to it very straightforward is no. Okay. AI will not be replacing any jobs. Okay. That is my perspective. Okay. And why? Because I'll give you a rationale behind that. AI is very efficient and very accurate and all. It can be very efficient and highly accurate, but it will only aid to whatever we are doing. okay, or whatever CAs are doing and all. Okay, it will help them. Suppose a CA is filing on calculating the taxes within 10 minutes, okay, then AI can help him calculate it within 5 minutes, okay. But I don't think it will beat the human intelligence ever, okay. So that is one way of seeing it. The other way, like I was born in 90s and all, right? So computer was very new. So whenever computer came, then many people thought that okay, this might replace the human effort, okay, and blah blah. So all the stuff we used to hear then. But in turn it generated more jobs for us, right? So if you see in India now, most of the population are working in ITs or working with computer, okay. So I can say that, and obviously it's my perspective, it can be go wrong, it can go right, no one knows. But if you see how computer created more jobs, I see in future AI will create more jobs, okay. It will not replace, rather it will make a human more smart and more efficient, more productive, okay. So that is how I see AI, to your question, AI replacing humans, okay. Hope that answers your question, whoever was asking. Anyone else, any questions? Guys, feel free to ask
Hi, sir.
anything.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are loud enough.
Okay. So my question is, if any CA person is willing to get an AI, the updation, how can we help him with like the present AI tools, with the present AI tools? Which AI tools are available for that?
Okay, good question. Whoever it is. So I'll try to answer in a way. Okay, suppose say I'm a very beginner level of CA. Okay, and I might not remember all the acts. Okay, so what I can do is I can ask help or seek help from a AI model or LLM model. Like, give me a first draft of your computation, how you see it, okay, and the AI might respond, okay, this is how I can calculate and this is how it should be, the tax liability or whatever the tax implications and all, okay, tax implications and all. But then what will happen is then the CA can think in that direction, okay, this is what my half work is done, okay, and the rest half I can use my own intelligence, okay. So it can give a head start to any of the CAs and all, okay. So that is how we can recommend using AI models or LLM models, okay, LLMs, to aid his or her work or CS work in a very efficient and productive way. Okay. So see guys, it's not only it will not be able to replace it, I will say as such. Again, I think the question is in similar lines, but it will definitely help him or her improve. So suppose he is filing 10 taxes within 1 hour, then AI can help him do 20. Okay. So this is how AI can help him accelerate his day-to-day work. Okay. So that is how I see AI helping a CA, and not only CA, any industry. Okay, suppose say you are a content writer or marketing lead or managers kind of job role you are working at. Okay, so if you can think and write about your content, unique content, it's fine, you can do it. So it might take 2 3 hours for you to write one page of content, because you will be putting in effort, going through research, okay, and writing one page of content. But what AI can do, AI can generate 10 pages related to that content, and your search area will be narrowed down to that 10 pages rather than you going and searching all over the internet. Okay, so this is how AI is this Gen AI is creating a disruption nowadays in any of the business areas. Okay, not only limited to CAs and all. Okay, hope that answers your question, whoever was asking. Anyone else, any questions? Guys, any questions? It's great to see people are asking questions. Yeah. If anyone else, I'll stop for a while. No one?
But sir,
Yes.
isn't it on a bad side that AI is doing this? Because uh, nowadays we know about ATS code, right? So a person who is using keywords like suppose any type of keywords,
Okay.
that person might not know about that entire process, like what is it, but he's just putting the keywords in the resume, and the
Okay.
AI is taking a decision based on those keywords. So,
Cool.
sir, isn't it a bad hiring then? Probably.
Okay. Who is it? Your name? Can I get
Gautam,
it?
Gautam, sir.
Gotham. Okay, great. Good question. Like, I think you touched a very important topic. I like to explore it more to you. Like as you say, correct. It's fine. And AI. See, I will say my perspective. If you see my LinkedIn profile, also I say that all models are wrong, but some are useful. Okay, so you cannot trust AI end to end. Okay, see, being a human, we make mistakes. So it's very obvious that being a artificial intelligence model, it will make mistake. Okay, no one is perfect. Not it's not only AI. Human can also be perfect, not perfect. Why? Because I can say if you say someone can cheat AI, okay, by putting in buzzwords, ML, DL in his or her resume, and maybe crack or get shortlisted, that's fine. But same thing can happen with human being also, right? Someone will try to fake the experience and also get shortlisted. Okay, now this is possible not only in AI cases but also in human beings. Okay, so we see now fraudsters, scamsters and all, right? So those are, they might not be AI, they are real human being, okay, who are frauding and scamming us. Okay, now coming to the other part. So yeah, it might go wrong, very sure, definitely it will go wrong. Okay, but even if you think from a real world practical use case, even if you fake words and try to get shortlisted, but definitely the second round will be a human interview round, right? There you there you might not be able to fake it more. Okay, so that is how we have certain checks also in guidelines, and we need to have these checks because we cannot trust AI to the fullest. Okay, right now, then if you say deep fakes, so this is a major concern nowadays. They are trying to generate images of politicians speaking something else in real. They might not be speaking such languages. Okay, so those what we say, like implications are there, but yes, so we need to have a second boundary saying that okay, even if he or she gets shortlisted using ATS score, but definitely there will be a human being interviewing him for a particular role. Okay, so he will not get past that if it is not good. So that is how we can put guardrails to it. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Gautam.
Sir, actually, there was a similar use case also in my company, previous company. They were
Mm-hmm.
using the nanobot technology to understand the consumers or the borrowers' behavior, and they
Mm-hmm.
used to capture the way the underwriters or the pre-underwriters used to work. So what happened was, so we were all told that we won't be having any, like, the work that we are doing would be a zero error policy. So
Okay.
and the nanobots used to capture all the way we used to take decisions. And the next generation, we saw that the nanobots are working fine. But
Mm-hmm.
sir, as a human intervention, like suppose the person is a human, and
Mm-hmm.
he taking a decision based on some like factors, but AI won't be able to understand those factors, right?
Yeah,
So at the
definitely.
end of the day, it would be a mess. That is the thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah, so it's definitely it will not be able to replace us. That is why I think someone asked before also, will it be able to replace CAs and all, right? So no. So straight answer is no. It will not be able to replace jobs and all. Okay, definitely it will have an impact, but not, the impact will be not 100% that it will be replacing jobs. Okay, because there are other human touch, emotional factors to it. Suppose say you are working in sales department. Okay, so it's not only all the data backed. You will be able to sell a particular product. Okay, you need to have that emotional connect. You need to build that trust. Then only people will buy from you. Okay, it's not only like AI will recommend something and based on the data and you will be able to sell it. It's not, it doesn't work that way. You need to build that trust with the consumer, build that rapport with the consumer. Okay, and then bring that emotional connect with the build that emotional connect with the consumer, then only I think the product will be sold. It's not like AI is recommending based on certain data and it will be getting sold. It will not be that 100% accurate ever. Okay. Okay. So any more questions? Else we'll move it to the next part. Okay. Guys, you can stop me in between if you have any questions, and then I will try to answer you. Okay. So today we'll be using building a simple Python applications. Based on Python, we'll build an application. Okay, application using Streamlit. So like many of you might be knowing Streamlit, but for those who don't know Streamlit, so Streamlit is like a web interface, like framework which we can use to quickly build some front-end applications. Okay, so it's very quick. So we'll be using that. So obviously you can use ML, Angular, React, and all to build front-end applications, but Streamlit is a very Streamlit applications are very quick to build. Okay, we'll also see that how why it is quick and all. Okay, and we'll be using GPT-4 model. Okay, to create a detailed tax saving plan. Okay, based on user input. So we'll try to see. We'll give some inputs. Okay, based on those inputs, we'll try to build a detailed plan. Okay, so we'll be using OpenAI's GPT-4 for that, and the inputs will be like such as personal details: what's your age, what's your income, what's your marital status, which tax regime you prefer, new, old. Okay, what's your budget, what's your investment budget, and all. So we'll see, we'll try to give all those details, whatever is required. Okay, to the model, and then we'll see how it works internally, how we can build that applications, so that you can go home, build the same. Okay, not only tax, it can be any like I think we can build for nutrition, tax, anything. Okay, use case can differ, but more or less the work items will be the same. Okay. Okay, so we'll move quickly. Okay, first I will give a demo maybe. Okay, uh, I'll pick someone who can help me with the details. Anyone? uh, Gautam, can you help me with details
Yes,
maybe?
sir.
Okay, cool. You don't need to give your exact details. I just want you to help me with filling
Sir,
out this
sir, Sai
form.
is ready to help, sir. If you can, like he's
Yeah, yeah,
helping
please.
me.
Sai can help me. Great.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so guys, so this is a simple web application we have designed using Streamlit. Okay, I'll give you a backend walkthrough of how we can do it, but let's see first how it works in real time. Okay, so Sai, over to you. Don't give your actual details, rather, will just help me out to fill this. Okay, so what do you want me to enter in the annual income? Sai, you there?
Sir, he texted 2
Yes,
lakhs.
sir. 2 lakhs.
Okay, so I want someone who can speak maybe. Okay, I'm
Yeah, I
writing
can
20.
speak, sir. 2 lakhs.
Okay, is like
19.
19. Okay, so I will make it 19 for 20 lakhs. It will be too much. So let me make it 7. Okay. Marital status. Suppose I'm saying I'm unmarried by 19. City of residence, urban. Okay. And what's your annual expense if your annual income is 7 lakhs? Any any numbers?
8,000.
8,000 is annual expense or monthly
Yeah.
expense?
Yeah, per month.
Per month, 8, then annual it will be 8 into
80,000.
26, right?
Yeah.
96,000. Monthly rental, suppose say 10K.
Yeah.
Okay. Any loans, or I'll put it 0, it's
0.
fine.
0.
Okay. Donations,
Yeah, I will like to donate every month 5,000, 60,000 per year.
60,000 per year. Great. Health insurance, let me take on average 30,000.
Yeah,
Okay. Per year.
probably no.
Whether disability status, I will tell
No.
no. Parent health insurance, I will tell okay again more 20,000. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is your investment preference? Whether you want to invest in high equity, high risk, equity, low risk, PPF, FD,
Balance.
balanced, great. Okay. And what is your existing tax savings
Fixed
investments?
deposit, FDs.
FD is great. Okay. So
Mm,
what's choose any of the tax regime which one you are comfortable with.
mm, New.
New, great. Okay. Now I will click on generate tax saving recommendations. I clicked here. So it is generating some recommendations now. Okay, let's see. See, it generated saying that AI powered tax generating recommendations. Understanding your tax regime, it says under the new tax regime, you cannot opt for lower tax rates but cannot claim more deductions, which we know it's true. Okay, available under old tax regime. However, certain deductions like those under ATC, ATD, ATZ still can be claimed. Okay, it says so. So coming to the next part, it says income tax and tax calculations. It calculated tax. And then it says the total liability, tax liability is 32,500. Okay, so this is the slab it used. So what is the maximum reductions I can do? It's saying that for ATC, these are the things I can do. This is the recommended action. ATD, it's related to health insurance. What is the maximum deductions? 25,000 per individual below 60. Okay. And this also is very smart enough to see. If you see it since you are 19, you can claim this amount. Okay. So ATG is again under the, I think, donations. Yes. Okay. So it also gives the guidelines. What is the maximum deductions you can get? So total deductions is calculated as 235. You can do it maximum for your age. Then the revised taxable income will be this. Okay, and your revised tax calculation can be this. Okay, so final tax liability again it's calculated that way. And in a summary, it is recommending, okay, please invest in ELSS and PPF up to 1,50,000 to maximize your ATC benefits. You can claim 25,000 under ATD, 60,000 under ATG. So this you can use for your tax filings. Okay. Now it's also giving a brief conclusion. By following the strategies, you can significantly reduce your tax burden. Okay, and blah blah. What's written? The key is to diversify your investments and all. Okay, but it's always good to suppose you are building this bot. Okay, so it's always good to write a second layer of validation, like it says written. If you see here, always consult a tax professional or financial advisor for personalized advice. Okay, so this is, if you see a quick tax calculation, what we have done, we click the button and like almost within 10 seconds you got the a summary of all the guidelines and whatever eligibility I have for those. Okay, being 19-year-old. Okay, so also you can see, if suppose say you do it as married, now you can also give your child expenses. Okay, so I can give child expenses, and then I can click on other things, and then I can regenerate my tax saving recommendations. Okay, so this is how you uh, like build a very quick Gen AI applications. Okay, to perform any of your tasks. Okay, so now let's go behind and see what is there behind and how we can do it. Okay, a very quick demo or maybe a code walkthrough. Okay, so if you see here, first thing first, we need a Streamlit. Okay, I'm assuming you might be familiar with Python and all. So first thing, you need to learn Python. If you know it, it's great. Okay, you can quickly get started. If not, then definitely you need to refresh that or jog your memory. Okay, so first thing, we need to like import the required libraries. For here, we for this application we need two libraries. So one is the Streamlit and the other is OpenAI, because we'll be using OpenAI model. Okay, then we need to jump into the API key. So as we will be using the OpenAI model, we need to have key or permission to use it. Okay, to use that API. Okay, OpenAI API. So we are passing that key. Okay, if you are a first time user of OpenAI, definitely they will have some free credits, but post that, I think you need to pay it. Okay, so this is how it works. We need to define that the key, and then we are just designing the page over here. Okay, the Streamlit page or the web application. So I'm giving the Streamlit dot title as tax saver app with Gen AI and all. Okay, if you see here, so it is coming on top. So this is your title. Okay, so just one liner and you will get this. Okay, you don't need to, you will not have much control in it, but it is very easy to design a web application using it. Okay, so again, and then I'm saying, then header, enter your details. Okay, so again, if you see the front end, then it will say that enter your details, right? Okay, now I will quickly move to the other one. Okay, now the entire page, if you see, it has divided into two columns. Okay, so if you see this left hand side, so this is column 1 and the right hand side will be column 2. Okay, and each column we are just defining the fields, okay, in the horizontal way. So if you see here, first thing it's saying that column 1 and 2, okay, defining column 1 and 2. What column 1 will do? Column 1 will have number input. Okay, what will the message? Message will be annual income, whatever is there in the double quotes, and the minimum value will be 0. The step will be 10,000. So it will be incremental in 10,000 step. Okay. So column 2 again is age. So it's again a number input. So you see how quickly we can design a page using Streamlit. Okay. So this is very efficient when you're trying to demo your applications to someone. So you can use it. But whenever you are trying to build a full-fledged application, you can go for Angular or React and all. Okay. So number input, if you see age, minimum value 18, maximum value I'm saying as 100. Okay. And the step is 1. Okay, so that's the reason if you see in the front end, it will show you these details. So if you see, if I click on step, it, it increases by 1. But I click on annual income step, it increases by 10,000. Okay, so that is what we have defined. So you don't need to define where this plus will be, what this minus will be. If you click on plus, what will happen? So Streamlit help you do that automatically. Okay, so that is why it's very efficient. Now coming to the row 2, okay, row 1 we have done. Now coming to the row 2, similar stuff. We are giving the select box instead of number input. Okay, so marital status. So this will be your message, and inside the list will be your options: married, unmarried, whatsoever. Okay, so that's the reason if you see here, if you see a drop down, it drop down unmarried and married, two options, and the header will be marital status. Okay. So again, city of residence also the same, urban, semi-urban, rural, and this is how we go for marital status. If it's married, then only we'll have children education input. If it is not married, if it is selected unmarried, then we'll not have one. So that we have defined here. Okay. Coming to the expander, if you see, we have also a Streamlit expander with the message as additional details, and expander is true. So by default, it should be true. Now, what do we mean by expander? If you see here, coming to the portal or application, see here, we have a small arrow over here. So if we click here, it will collapse. If we click here, it will collapse, right? So if you want to expand it, so we can expand it, and inside it, what we can have, so that we have, so we again we have two columns here with 3 or 4 rows. So that is what again it's coming as third row, fourth row, and fifth row. Okay, so within each row again we are having two columns. Okay, so again we have a second level of so I'm not going guys again into this detail because I think we covered number input. Okay, and what will the step, what will the minimum value, you can set it over here. Similarly, if you see the next expander, we are expanding it in a section of investment preference. So basically this is it. If you see here, yeah, this is it. Okay, again by default, if you see, it is expanded equal to true, and we have a select box and we have a multi-select now. So again, this is one more function we have in Streamlit where you can select multiple things. Okay, for example, I go here, I selected fixed deposit. Now I can select NPS, then I can select PPF, NPS, ULIF. Okay, so I've selected 3. So this is now multi-select. Okay, and this here in this list you can pass the bracket, and this is your message before this. So it will be very quick. So you need to give only the title and then the drop down options. Okay, so you don't need to bother about where it will be, how it will be, and all. So that is what Streamlit automatically takes care of it. Okay. Now we have a radio button of choose your text regime. The options are old and new, horizontal equal true. So it will be horizontally placed. Okay, if you see, it is horizontally placed. If you give vertical, then it will be up down. Okay, so vertically placed. Okay. Now coming to our original function, what we designed to hit the OpenAI, send our request, and then get the response. Okay. So basically we are defining a function called generate recommendations. Okay, so this is the definition of that function. Coming to the parameters, so this require income, age, marital status, city, blah 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 blah, health insurance, existing investments. Okay, so this is all variable, and those variables we'll be using as in this function as parameters. Okay, now coming to the definition, so all the LLM model needs prompt. Okay, now you may ask what is prompt. So I'll spend one quick minute on explaining what is prompt. So prompt, so suppose say you are opening chat GPT and you're writing some task, right? Tell me a joke. So tell me a joke is your prompt. So you are prompting the large language model to do something. Okay. Suppose say you are writing, you're asking the chat GPT model or whatever chat GPT interface, uh, tax, okay, or content about India. Okay, so this is your query, okay, user query. So that is what we call as prompt. Why we call that as prompt? Because we have a model. Now we need to give the direction to the model to do something. Okay, and the direction to do something we call that as prompt. So it's like we prompt in someone's ear, right? Please do this, please do that. So same thing, we need to give a prompt to the model so that model will understand what I need to do or what it needs to do. Okay, so if you see here, the prompt over here, what we have defined internally is we are saying that as a financial advisor specializing in Indian tax laws, provide detailed and personalized tax saving strategies. Okay, so we are telling the LLM like you are a financial advisor, and being that you are a financial advisor specializing in Indian tax laws. Okay, we are just narrowing the context. Okay, and we are giving first a context. What is that LLM? How the LLM will behave? So it will behave like a financial advisor. Okay, what it will do? It will provide detailed and personalized tax saving strategies. Okay, so give a who, we have given who, and we have given what. Okay, so we have given who you are or who you will behave like and what you will do or what are the tasks you will do. Okay, so we are saying to provide personalized tax saving strategies for an individual with the following details. Okay, so we need to pass all those details what we got as an input from this part. Okay, the income, age, marital status, loan, insurance, everything. So we'll give that in the prompt itself. Okay, if you see here, we have given in the annual income is this. So this income come from here. I think yes, we define it income here. Okay, so we pass all this information whatever we have collected from the user. Okay, and also we are saying provide recommendations on investment deductions and strategies to minimize tax liability. Okay, consider section, we are also defining some sections to it. Okay, so based on these guidelines or these sections, it will try to help the user minimize its tax liability. Okay, so this is my entire prompt I am giving as a input to my model. Okay, now coming to this part, which model we'll be using, what is the role of that model, and we'll come to what is max tokens, what is temperature and all. Okay, so for this exercise we are using GPT-4o mini Azure OpenAI model. Okay, so in the messages we need to give the role, the system, we are saying that role as the system, and the system is the content is this. So we'll pass the prompt whatever we have designed here, will pass as the content. Okay, as in the messages, maximum tokens meaning it will give you tokens you can for now assume I don't want to go into more detail, but tokens you can assume as words. Okay, you want the response in how many words? So approximately it will try to respond you back within 1000 words. Okay, so that is why we say max tokens to be used is 1000. Okay, now now you may ask the question, why don't we give this, why can't we leave the LLM to decide on its own? Okay, what will happen is, because if you use more tokens, then your cost will be increasing. Okay, so how OpenAI gets built, or your how your applications get built, is like the number of tokens you are using and how many times you are hitting the Azure OpenAI API. So that is how your billing gets generated. So more the tokens, more is your billing. Okay, we'll come to that pricing also. I'll show you that how we can calculate how many tokens translate to what cost. Okay, we'll also see that. Okay, after this maybe. And coming to the temperature range between 0 to 1 and all. So generally 0.7 we pass by default. Why? Because is, so it gives an idea how creative you want the model to be. Okay, if you want the model to be very creative, then you can give a number, and if you want the model to be very not that creative and want the fixed answer always, then you can give a lesser number. Okay, lesser temperature. Okay, now coming to this part, we have got this thing, we have prepared the model. Now we'll get the response. Okay, so once we get this response, okay, we'll show it in the front end. Okay, so you might have seen in the front end we have a button also. So st.button, streamlit.button. The button name will be this. So this will be same as this, generate text saving recommendations. So once we click on this button, what will happen? If income is less than 0 or equal to 0, then we'll say that, throw out an error saying that enter a valid income. Okay. If it is fine, if the income is greater than 0 or greater than 0, then we say that just put the header as this is my AI tax saving recommendation. So if you see in the response, as soon as I click this, it will, it gave this, right? So this is what we have defined here. We will set a header, and we also set a spinner saying that generating recommendations. So if you see here, I'm not sure, or it already generated. So we see a loop button showing an idea that it's generating, it's on the way. Okay, so that is why we use spinner. And after that, we say that recommendations equal to, we are calling this function we have built here. Okay, the same function we are calling here, and whatever the output of this function will be, or response of this function will be stored in this variable, and this variable we are just writing it back using streamlit.write. Okay, so if you see all those response we get, we are writing it back, and after that we are also writing a note. Okay, in the footer note, this app provides general tax saving suggestions and all. So let's go to the app. So this is what your response is. Okay, and this is how your note is, the footer note we have defined here. Okay, so this is how you can quickly build a web app using Streamlit, using Azure OpenAI. So at the end of, I think it will not take more than 30 minutes for you to do it yourselves at home. Maybe you can try it out yourselves and then maybe come up with questions, or maybe post your answers online, whatever it is. Okay, I'll take a pause. Maybe any questions, guys? Anyone? Anyone? Any questions? I can take it up. We have a few more minutes. Anyone, guys?
Where we can access this code, sir?
Pardon?
Code.
So code, I think Rakiv and all, like Ivy will provide you, I think, after the end of the sessions. Okay. So you can maybe change it to a different thing, or whatever you want to, just play around with it. Okay, and maybe build a application. Just, I would say, first try to run it yourself. Okay, now before that, so once you are done with this Python file, right, so you can save this as a .py file, Python file. And how you can get this app running is like, go to your prompt, okay, Anaconda prompt or Python prompt. In the Python prompt, you need to write Streamlit. Okay, first go to the place where you have the code and all. Okay, the folder path. So I have it over here. Okay, so if you see here, I'm writing Streamlit run space run, then the file name .py. Okay, so this is my file name tax underscore bot.py, and it will give you saying that okay, this is now running. You can view your Streamlit app in your browser, and it will give a link. So you can just copy this link, okay, and maybe you can paste it in your, okay. So now you get this window. Okay, then you can maybe enter details and try clicking on generating some tax saving recommendations for you based on your inputs. Okay, any other questions, guys? Anything in the code you didn't understand, or uh, like you ever thought how you can do it yourselves? Any questions on that front? Anyone? No questions? Okay, so I think I request you, if you find it very useful, then definitely please try it yourself. So any code or anything related to any coding part, right? So if you don't try it at home yourself, so you won't understand, okay, and you won't feel comfortable. So I would request you to try it yourself at home. Use this code. I think they will share with you. Okay, it will be shared with you. Just try to do it. Run it in your own laptop. Install Python. After installing Python, you can install Streamlit. Okay, run this. Try to generate some what we say uh, recommendations. Okay, tax recommendations and all, and let us know definitely if you are doing good, if you are stuck, or whatsoever. Okay. Okay, so I am basically done from my side, guys. If you have any questions, I can take it off. Anything related to this or other than this, related to Gen AI world, related to any other topic related to Gen AI and all, I can take it up maybe. Any questions? I will stop for a while. Any questions, guys? No questions? I'll stop the share maybe. Okay, great. Guys, if you learned something about Gen AI today, okay, uh, you will try at home definitely and all. So, can I get a thumbs up or thumbs down if you learned something good today? Great.
Sir,
Yeah, I think Arpan is asking some questions. Yes, Arpan.
sir, generative AI is useful for cars.
Pardon?
Generative AI can be useful for cars or not?
Cars meaning car you are saying? Bike
Yes,
car?
sir.
So what do you want to use Gen AI for in cars?
In cars, like for maps, for areas, locations.
Yeah, definitely. You can use it. So again, so maps and all it will not be able to give you because how it will show you. Okay, it can give you some text and all, and that will not be that helpful. But because Google Map and Bing Maps, Safari Maps, Apple Maps are that useful because it shows you direction. You need to have that front end interface, right? So if I only tell you go left, go right, that might be confusing. But definitely you can use, or you want based on your budget, you want which car it recommend you to buy, okay, or based on your details, you want your buying price or selling price of that car. Okay, then I think in that those terms, Gen AI can help you.
Sir, there is a company named Citron. They use Gen AI to develop their dashboards and all regarding the cars. Like suppose the car is stuck for a while in that place, that Gen AI tracks that thing also. That in that place, how many cars are being stuck, and whether there's a traffic or not, and moreover, how much travel that car has made. Was there any safety problem or not? So As I have seen in that company, they use Gen AI to bring all this data out.
Yes, yes, definitely, Gautam. So, see, as I said before, also, right? So, it's disrupting all the business areas, not only specific to tax, car, bikes, or whatsoever, but it is disrupting most of the areas. Okay, it's not limited to certain fields. Okay, and slowly we are in our day to day, we also work towards building new use cases, forming new use cases. So, like you said, one, I think the other Arpan said one, right? So, there are many use cases. Okay, and and there is endless possibility of using Gen AI. Okay, so right now what we are doing is we are trying to show you the art of possible and how easy is it to learn it. It's not that difficult, I would say, to learn, and you start using it for your own use cases. Okay, not like tax and all, but more complex use cases. Okay, you can do it.
Sir, is it necessary to be a very good statistician to be a part of Gen AI world? I mean, to
I
analyze.
would say the brief answer would be no. Okay, but yes, I would say that way. Why? Because is if you want to understand how internally it is working, okay, definitely then you need to understand stats. Okay, but if you want to only use the API, Azure OpenAI or model itself, you don't want to get into the complexity of the model, then it's fine. Even Python will suffice, or a good programming skills will suffice.
Sir, one more thing, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
in previously we used to use Siri and OK Google to interact
Yeah.
with devices.
Yes.
Uh, these smart things they were previously there also, but recently what has brought this change in this entire technological world that we are talking mostly about Gen AI and OpenAI?
Okay, so OpenAI is nothing but a company, okay, who built a large language model. Okay, now coming to the Siri, Alexa, okay, Google, okay, we have all those stuffs also. So there were chatbots initially, and this concept is not new. And this is a very old concept of training models and then getting out answers for it. Okay, the only difference is nowadays the model chat gpt and GPT-4 gpt turbo 4 turbo and all, right? So these are trained on very large amount of data. Okay, I'll just give you a very layman example. Maybe suppose say there is a kid who is trained on apple, banana and orange. Okay, and there is a kid who is trained on apple, banana, orange, guava, pineapple, watermelon. Okay, many blueberry, black, any most of the fruits, right? Hundreds of fruits, and there is one small model or small baby who is trained on only two or three fruits. Okay, so you can compare it that way. So that is a very light model, and this is a very highly trained on a like large amount of data model. Okay, so that is why it's very efficient now,
But sir, it
and it
won't
will
work
become
in
more efficient.
but sir, it won't work in unpredictable data, right? Like in predictive data only it will work.
What's the other one you said?
Unpredictable data, as in the things. For example, if I am trying to tally whether this happened in the last 5 to 10 years, so it
Mhm.
is based on that literature only that Gen AI will work. But if I do not know something, suppose what might happen in the next 5 10 years, so it won't work on that.
No, it will not work on that. How can no one can predict that way? So basically, it will work on the things it is trained on. Okay. Suppose say you are trained on, you are not trained on. Suppose say you are not trained on Python and all, right? And I will tell you, Gautam, okay, please build me a application in Python. You will not be able to do it. Okay, you will not be able to do it. Very plain and simple, because you are not trained on that Python and all. Okay, you might be trained on Java. Okay, you can build an application in Java and not Python. Okay, same way. So it can only answer you and respond you in a way that it has been trained on those things and not anything else. Okay, and now coming, I will show you one more thing also very importantly. Okay, so this is now Azure OpenAI documentation. Okay, so there are few models. Okay, so if you see there is text generation capabilities. Okay, okay. Now coming to this flagship model. So recently we are working with 4O, 4O mini and all. Okay, so if you see 4O, 4O is a very like large model. Okay, 4O mini is a very lightweight model. Okay, so it's a very intelligent small model, but it is very fast and lightweight. Okay, but GPT-4o is a flagship model, very complex and multi-step models are there. Okay, now coming to O1 preview. So this is one more model, O1 preview, O1 mini. So O1 models are reasoning models. Okay. So they will work on very solving very hard problems, but the time taken will be very high. So they think a lot. Okay. After thinking a lot, after processing a lot, they will come up with a response. But that is what I'm saying. So all the models have their own limitations and their own pros. Okay. So similarly, nowadays I think GPT-4 Turbo is there, GPT-4 is there, 3.5 is there. Okay, Whisper is there, TTS meaning text to speech. Okay, DALI is your image generation. So these are the all the models OpenAI has built over time, and it will build more models in the future also with more accuracy, more faster, more efficient. Okay, so this is how it is ongoing process and all. It will evolve more and more. Okay, and coming to the pricing details, right? If you see pricing, how it works is, so I showed you tokens, right? So if you see for GPT-4o, okay, so it's $2.5 per million input tokens. Okay, so if you go to ChatGPT, okay, and okay, I will open ChatGPT here. If you see here, like many people tell it's chat gpt is not a model. Okay, chat gpt is an application of a model. What model you see here? It is been using 4o mini model. Okay, so what is your model? If someone asks what model chat gpt is working on, then chat gpt is working on this 4o model, 4o mini model. Okay, what was that? 4o mini, yeah, 4o mini. Okay, so chat gpt is working on this model. Okay, that is what you can say. So chat gpt is a implementation of this model, or using of this model in a interface. Okay, chat gpt itself is not a model. So the main engine behind chat gpt is 4o mini. Okay, earlier when it was launched very first time chat gpt, it was on gpt 3.5, then it became gpt 3.5 turbo, and nowadays it's now gpt 4o. Okay, so slowly it's evolving to a more accurate, more faster model. Okay, so I think we are well above the time. Definitely I think we'll be uh, we'll get to see each other sometime again. But I would like you all to share your feedbacks. Okay, and also try to connect, be in the connect or network, maybe in LinkedIn or whatsoever. And any other questions you have, then you can reach out to Ivy, Raki, Fahim over here. Okay, for your questions regarding code and all, or you can write me back if you have any questions also. Okay, so we'll wrap this up. Is Rakib there in the call? Anyone from Ivy?
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Sir, Naveen asked something like, can you ask sir about ML engineer roadmap?
ML engineer. I think you can ping me separately after this call, and I will reply you that.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Okay. That will be a long topic again, and I don't want people to wait here. Okay. Cool then. See you guys. Okay. Do provide your feedback. Nice meeting you. I didn't get a chance to speak to each one of you, but definitely I think we'll meet again. Okay. Thanks all. Bye bye. Have a happy weekend. Let me know your feedbacks, and let's connect over LinkedIn maybe. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. I'll paste my LinkedIn details over here also.